We feel as bad as we can feel about what happened at Virginia Tech. Our prayers go out to the families of the victims. We received a lot of emails saying you missed us last night. With that in mind, we're going to find some other things to talk about. But remember, our hearts are with all you Okies. Hokies.
My class was filled with people who I look around and say, that could be a psycho, that could be a shooter, that could be a killer, that could be a loser, that is a geek.
Yeah.
They're not all dangerous.
Right. Of course not. Most of them aren't.
How do you know?
Right. There's no way to know.
Some of them are just annoying.
Men? Why is it always men? Why don't we have women spree killers like this that commit crimes with guns? Does the doctor know that? Why is it always men?
You know what? I wouldn't have an answer for that. I think probably there's some biology attached to it, and men have the testosterone that, you know, there's all these studies out there that men can get more violent because of testosterone. But otherwise, I don't know that men get more affected emotionally than women. I just think they act it out differently.
That's why you're in the clear, guys. I have very little testosterone.
Bill has no hormonal levels.
Exactly.
Democratic presidential candidate John Edwards is spending a lot of moolah on his mane. The ex-senator spent $400 on a haircut at a Beverly Hills barber, then 2 weeks later laid down another $4 at the very same salon. I sincerely hope Edwards got a happy ending with that. Or did they only do that at massage parlors? Either way, I want one. Yeah, do you know what else? I remember sitting at the beach. The only people that had metal detectors were guys, really old, decrepit guys trying to get close to girls sunbathing. So they'd just be moving around, and they start looking at you, and then something horrible would happen, and the police would come. Bill,
I couldn't disagree more with all of you. This is adorable.
But I want to talk about Richard Gere, and my first question will go to Rachel. As you know, Richard Gere was burned in effigy in India because he kissed Shilpa Shetty, a very famous Bollywood actress, in public. And they went crazy, so they burned him in effigy. I kind of like the idea of that. I like the idea that people in one country hate public displays of affection.
Well, that's a good way to finally dispel that hamster rumor, or gerbil rumor, whatever was going around there for a while.
What are you talking about?
Create a big firestorm in India over kissing a woman.
I don't even know what you're talking about. What gerbil story?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
It's that old.
Yeah. We're here with Andy Levy for his halftime report. Hi, Andy.
Hey, Greg. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Greg, on behalf of the 99% of loners who are law-abiding citizens, I'd like to make it clear that we're not all potential spree or serial killers.
Okay.
I was trying to come up with a name for people who discriminate against loners, but the best I could come up with was socialists, but I think that's already taken.
Anti-socialists.
Ooh, that's not bad.
Thank you.
Okay. And I'm not getting into a gun debate or making any judgments, but to answer Rachel's to answer Rachel's question as to why no one else on campus was armed, it's because Virginia Tech had been declared a gun-free zone. And Rachel, the prime purpose of a metal detector is to detect metal. That's all I got. You asked the question, I was just answering.
You all done?
Yes.
Good. Goodbye. See you later.
Okay.
Hey, we're back with actor and comedian Jamie Kennedy. He's got a new movie coming out April 20th called Kicking It Old School.
That's right, Kicking It Old School.
Can you break dance when you sit down?
I can do this, you know what I mean?
He was doing this throughout Andy's entire segment.
I know.
Amazing.
It's fantastic.
This is, you know, like the top half of the worm.
I love that. I love that. What are those?
You know, these are big in the 80s, and these are kickingitoldschool.com movie bracelets, but what you do is you go up to somebody and you go, blah, wow, like that, you know what I mean? You just go up to somebody and bam.
All right.
And then
enough of the arm business.
Bam.
All right.
There it is.
Enough of the arm business.
Big in the 80s.
Let's go.
Oh,
Joking.
Wow.
This is a family show at 2 a.m.
And he's all acorn. It wouldn't fit.
But you know, it's funny because we're about to talk about bondage.
Yeah, oh, we are?
Yes, we are.
It's not in my movie, Kicking It Old School, April 27th.
Yeah. You have a lot of cameos in your movie. You have Emmanuel Lewis, who I think is angry and bitter. Am I right?
No, he's a wonderful guy.
Oh, he is?
I love him.
Yes.
And he's taller than I thought he was.
Well,
how tall is he?
I don't know. I didn't measure.
He's 3 apples tall.
He's very tall.
Then you have John Ratzenberger.
John Ratzenberger, who's the man, Cliff Clavin, you know his name from Cheers.
Strikes me as somebody who might have bad breath.
No. April 27th, Kick It Old School.
But then you had Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Yes.
Awesome. One of the best movies ever, They Live.
Yes. That, and he's also one of the greatest wrestlers. We have him. We have Eric Estrada.
Yes. Yeah.
Poncherello. And we also have the OG, the original, David Hasselhoff.
Yes.
Because you don't want to hassle the Hoff. You know
he didn't wet himself at all, did he?
No. God. I mean,
all you have to do is deny.
You want me to burn every... No, everyone is great. We love.
So you know this movie's already going to be huge in Europe because they love him over there.
I hope.
You know, you were in Boiler Room.
Yes, I was.
So what? Is Vin Diesel a good kisser?
I didn't have any kissing scenes with
Oh, you
them.
didn't?
No.
Oh.
Jeez, these guys.
I'll answer this, Greg.
Kicking it old school, April 27th.
You were in the movie Scream and the sequel Scream
Yes,
2
I was
with,
killed in Scream
with
2.
Courtney Cox and David Arquette. Did you know that they were going to get together after the first movie? Was there any
Such a girl
on-screen
question.
stuff? Oh, I know, but there are girls watching, like 3 of them. So.
Yes.
And they're all in jail.
They were loving each other. You could see their sparks in their eyes during the first Scream.
During the first Scream.
Yes, and it was beautiful.
Meeting on a slasher film. That is so romantic. I guess it's better than Schindler's List, I suppose.
Now, the 80s are...
Kicking it old school, April 27th. I mean...
The 80s are by far...
Where'd you shoot this
Jelly
movie?
Jenny's.
Where'd you shoot this movie?
We shot this movie in a little place called Vancouver.
She knew where he
She knew what she knew. That was a planted question. Planted question.
Canada. Now wait, I went to Earl's every night.
Oh, right on.
Good
That's a
steak.
good restaurant.
Good steak. Yeah, I know you
gay
had
bar.
Gorgeous waitresses.
good steak. Gorgeous waitresses.
Yeah.
I know you had a beef controversy years ago. Not you, but this country of Canada. And you
Okay.
have, I want to say
All right.
something. They have good beef.
Okay, on that note, we've got to move on. I want to thank you, Jamie, for coming on the show.
Thank you so
When is it
much.
open? Kicking it old school?
April 27th.
Everybody
Kicking
go
it
to
old
his
school.
movie. Joanne, I want to
People
ask
really
you
give
about
me
your
on the
career.
holiday.
Now, you are an adult film star, and
Who told you?
I've never actually met one before in my life, so I have so many
That's
questions.
such a lie.
Now, how many of your orgasms are real?
I actually, all my orgasms on camera are real.
Really?
God bless America.
And I'm a director as well, and I try to tell everybody who works for me that they are not leaving until everybody has a real
But
orgasm.
isn't that, obviously,
That's like health insurance.
That'd be great if that was the rule on this show, too.
I think every woman should always have a real orgasm when they're having sex, whether it's on, off camera,
Well, and clearly you're
I don't
blessed,
like
but is
fake
that difficult for some of your stars? I assume some of them just can't get there because they're told to, yeah?
I mean,
I'm
it's
asking
the
'cause I
guy's
don't
job.
know. That's true.
That
Yes.
guy can't get her off. He's fired.
When you
In
date,
the industry.
hey, I'm sitting down. Isn't that exciting? I never get to sit down. It's a special day. Anyway, it's mail time. The address is at redeye@foxnews.com. Send me something to read, and I will do my best to read it in a nice, friendly voice, like this voice here that I'm using right now. David Allen from Kentucky leads things off. Your show was terrible. You were all trying to be funny, but I was not amused. I could only take it for about 10 minutes. Kill this show. Oh, that's just a mean-spirited thing to say. Crystal from Colorado Springs writes, I'm a 20-year-old college student, so I have a lot of late nights. You and your guests make them so much better. Thanks for a good laugh. I read differently when I'm sitting down. No name or town on this next letter, but I'm reading it anyway. Thanks for being on the air at 2 a.m. I have a new baby, and I've been watching you during those middle-of-the-night feedings. Now that she's sleeping through the night, I find myself waking up to watch you anyhow.
I wonder what she's feeding.
I don't know what she's feeding. I'm assuming it's a baby.
Yeah,
Is
I
it a
think I
baby?
know.
Yeah,
I think
it's a
I know,
baby.
yeah.
Or it could be a manatee. Ruth Daniel from Brownsville, Texas writes, your show was disgusting and will not be tolerated in my home. I was embarrassed for you since you didn't seem to have enough sense to be embarrassed yourself. God, she hit the nail on the head. I have no sense. Take time now to think. Let's see what Andy Levy's got lined up for us on tomorrow's stories. Andy!
Hey, Greg.
How are you?
Is Xanax starting to kick in?
No, it's because I'm sitting down. When I sit down, I lose my energy.
Whatever you say, man.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's cool.
It's cool. Plus, as the website Hot Air pointed out, Keith Olbermann scolded President Bush and the Republican Congress for allowing the assault weapons law of 1994 to expire. Olby says that so-called high-capacity clips, like the one used in the alleged shooter's Glock, were banned under this law. We'll explain to Olbermann that, first of all, it's a magazine, not a clip, and that the terms are not interchangeable as they describe completely different things. In fact, you'd be hard-pressed to find a 9mm handgun that uses a clip. We'll also let Olby know that the 1994 law only banned the manufacturing of new high-capacity magazines, not the sale or ownership of ones already made. Then we'll put it in sports terms so he can understand it. You're 0 for 2, Olby. Maybe hire an ombudsman. Plus, entertainer Don Ho passed away on Saturday, and we'll see how this left headline writers across the country feeling ashamed of themselves for all of probably 7 minutes. And finally, a Fox News investigation. Who is behind the widespread attempt to convert gerbils to Buddhism? The answer may surprise you, or it may not.
Thank you, Andy.
You got it, Greg.
See you tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you, Rachel Marsden, Bill Schultz. And for me, I would like to say goodbye to everybody from this seated position, which is the first for me. I feel like a therapist or something.
You're defecating on yourself right now.
I'm actually making a complete mess under this table. Take care. Bye-bye.